Let's dive right into the movie films that I got from eBay and Amazon. This is the lone VHS that I picked up recently off of eBay. Really good price, and I've been wanting this. This is a grail of mine, but I essentially got this for $4, which is really awesome, and that is The Evil Dead. Oh my god, this cover is awesome. Just classic flick right here. You just can't go wrong with The Evil Dead. I mean, it's just great. I love this. It's iconic. It's just great. I'm so happy to finally have this in my VHS collection. This one is a bummer. You see, ladies and gentlemen, if you happen to resell or sell anything or whatever, this is the thing. We all, especially slipcover collectors like myself, maybe even you watching, we all have that terrifying feeling of when a slipcover with your movie gets shipped out. You hope for the best, because we all know the post office these days, it's a nightmare. It sucks when your item gets damaged. It could even be in a box and get really fucked up. I personally understand. I got to do my best to wrap up some things if I have to, especially when they have slipcovers or if they're steel books or tapes, whatever. I do my best to package. This person did fine. There was nothing wrong with it. It was just... it's just... Here was the problem, though. It was in a nice bubble mailer and whatever, so that's good. But what happens when you put something in an oversized bubble mailer? This is what ends up happening here. See, I got Wonder Woman 1984... But here is what when I took the item out of the bubble mailer, it was like this. That's a problem. And then it happens, as you can see there, the squishing of the package creases the cover. So, that was the only issue. Outside of that, I mean, the discs are mint, everything. Even the slipcover is fairly mint, despite this very obviously glaring issue there. I am really struggling here because I'm a slipcover collector when it comes to getting my movies. I have to have the cover if there is one, and I want it to be at least in somewhat good shape. You know, when it has little dings and stuff like that, I don't care too much about that kind of stuff. That I'll let it slip by. But this, you know what, it is what it is, but I'm happy to have that in my collection for now. I'll figure out the slipcover situation some other time. Next up is a movie I regret that I sold a while back, and that is Jennifer's Body. This is the repackaged, or the newer cover edition with Amanda Seyfried in the front. Next up is the 4K release of Wreck-It Ralph. This cover is beautiful. And this slipcover is mint, for the most part. This, I love this movie. It's one of the most underrated Disney flicks of the last decade. I just love just everything about this movie, the cast, the visual style, even this cover. Again, they knocked it out of the park. I love the 8-bit just everything going on here. I love the different worlds splitting through. I love this cover so much, and I love this movie so much. It's just great stuff right here. Next up is my last couple of pickups from eBay, and they're 2 Christopher Landon movies. And this guy is doing some good stuff when it comes to the twisting of horror films, and even though they're not conventional horror films, they lend themselves to the idea of horror, dark comedy. First up is Happy Death Day with the slipcover. Very, very awesome to find this, because this is getting up there in price too, just with this slipcover. I remember when I first watched it a couple years ago, I was just like, oh man, I really wish I could have saw this in the theater. The mystery of it all, what's going on as to why the Groundhog Day situation's happening, it's really well done. The original is definitely the best so far, and I really hope they can make the 3rd film. And next up is Freaky. This is one I wished I could have saw in the theater. This is one I really wanted to see. One of the few new movies that came out last year in 2020. And this is everything I could have ever asked for. Especially the premise alone of Freaky Friday that's kind of terrifying. I mean, we've seen all the freak out moments in like something like the Lindsay Lohan movie, you know. You see them freak out. You're like, holy shit, how can this happen? This movie takes that to a whole other level, because not only is this kind of like the Hot Chick movie with Rob Schneider, but this is way better than that, I'll tell you that right now. So, takes that premise of having a teenage girl in a middle-aged man's body and vice versa, but you know what? Vince Vaughn actually does a very subtly funny performance here, and Catherine Newton actually has some menace to her as Vince Vaughn's serial killer character. Like, they actually matched each other's performances pretty damn well. There's some couple interesting kills, and even the friends, man. The friends were pretty funny and great, and again, it had some heart to it, and it was just enjoyable. And the last few titles are from Amazon. First up is Euro Trip. I know, this is basically Road Trip. They were trying to ride off the coattails of Road Trip. I reviewed this movie on my Instagram, and a lot of people seem to feel the same as I do, because this post got a lot of likes. This movie's great. It's ridiculous, but it's great, and I love the chemistry of the cast. I love just how ridiculous it got, and yes, some of the jokes are definitely lazy and not so PC these days, but I mean, you have moments like Fred Armisen is ridiculous in this, and there's Lucy Lawless there as well, and Jeffrey Tambor, and a couple other random people that pop up in here. But anyways, this movie's ridiculously fun. It's very much in the same vein as Road Trip or American Pie, and I dig it. Well, a 90s movie that was definitely probably not meant for kids, even though if it was PG-13, and it definitely had kid toys front and center, but yeah. I look back on this movie as very weird. Director of Gremlins, Joe Dante, I've enjoyed a lot of his work. It is ridiculous. It's darkly funny. I remember the crazy Barbie dolls, man. That always freaked me out as a kid. And of course, it was advertised, you know, left and right, these toys. This was definitely bizarre. It's a bizarre movie, and I cannot wait to revisit this one. Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? You know the drill. You know. I am shocked it took this long for this movie to pop up on Blu-ray, considering how popular this movie has always been, even since its VHS days. I mean, I am shocked. But yeah, Good Burger has a special place in my heart, like a lot of other people's, and yeah, I'm still just shocked how long it took to pop up on Blu-ray. And last, and to some people maybe least, I don't know, Accepted. I just rewatched this as well, and my God, this is fun. I don't care what you say. Jonah Hill asking about his wiener is funny. The shit jokes in this movie are funny. And Lewis Black, just being his classic Lewis Black self, is funny. This whole cast is great together, and I don't know. There's just something about this movie. I just didn't know I had nostalgia for it, but I guess I did. This movie, it surprised me how mostly funny it still is. It actually has some good questions about, is it worth going to college, or, you know, the whole elitist schools out there, are they taking advantage of people? You know, it's actually got some still pretty relevant questions. It doesn't answer a whole lot of them, but it, in a comedy like this, a teen comedy, pushing that couple of ideas around is, I'll give it that credit. It didn't have to go there, but it did, and I appreciate it for that. So, yeah. It's been great, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of awesome movies picked up in this one little haul. I hope you all enjoyed it.